Hi, welcome back to Pixel Pro Audio Unfiltered. This is episode 3, and we are back in the Pixel Pro Audio studio. I am your host, Tay. This is David, and that is Jay. What do you guys have today for us?
First off, we have a CLA-200 power amp coming out soon.
Made by,
is it Avantone or
it's
Avantone?
Avantone.
Okay.
Avantone?
From the horse's mouth. It's Avantone.
Okay.
Mr.
Because it
Avantone?
used to be Avant something systems or something,
right,
so it's
right.
Avantone.
Avantone. Okay, yeah, we got that.
Okay. The CLA-200 is a power amp. It's made to pair with their CLA-10s, their Yamaha white cone in the black box reissues. It's made to be in the control room, super low cooling noise, and they designed it from the ground up.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. It's made with like all high quality components. And
Yeah, Class AB amplifier.
Yeah.
So what you're telling me is that it would probably pair really nicely with the Yamaha NS10Ms. Is that what you're saying?
Those two, but
Yeah.
their CLA-10s, it's specifically made for. But it would pair nicely with pretty much any passive speaker.
And that's what they went for. But I mean,
Right.
this only speakers that people are using that are passive in the studio these days are pretty much NS10Ms.
Yeah.
And hopefully the CLA-10s, which are pretty awesome sort of replicas of a classic design.
And they're brand new.
They're brand new. They're not 30 years old, so that's a good thing.
And they have a warranty.
20. Because when did they stop making NS10s? Was it probably
Late 90s, I think 97?
Was it?
Really?
Yeah,
That was 2000.
They had like different, it might be.
something like that. But it's been almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
All right, so does this look great? Is this a great opportunity or a great thing to get for your passive speakers?
on paper.
I'm probably going to get one, to be honest.
Okay. And
And then I will listen to his.
yeah, exactly.
And then I'll decide if I'll get one.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to get a pair of NS10s or CLA-10s. I haven't decided which yet for my home studio. And I will need an amplifier.
Well,
Right.
he's getting NS10s already. So
Yeah, he's
Today.
ordered
They're coming
them.
today.
Nice.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Santa's
it's pretty
coming
exciting.
early.
Yeah.
But then that means you need to get
Yes,
the
I mean,
CLA-10s to
The
so we can
CLA-10.
bet.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So we can figure out what I'm gonna
I
get.
would do that because from talking with Avantone, what they have said to us in speaking with them about the CLA-10s is that the design is spot on.
Right.
So,
Okay.
and I believe them. So.
Sure.
Yeah, the cone is white, the box is black. I mean, what else do you need?
Yeah. Right.
Well, this is cool because like now they've come out with the CLA-10s and now this is like something to pair it with and just so you can get the whole package going.
Yeah, it's like a vintage sound. I hate the word
Yeah.
vintage, but it's true. But you get that vintage sound with modern parts and good quality, and it's not 30 years old. So
I mean, for me, it's not so much about vintage sound. It's just I know NS10Ms.
right.
And
A lot
I
of
think
people do, huh?
most engineers, I mean, at least of a certain generation,
Yeah.
I don't want to make myself sound old or anything, but
Gramps.
when I was doing a lot of studio work in the late 90s and early 2000s, it was NS10Ms were in every studio, and I think they pretty much still are. Any major studio is going to have them, and
Yeah, they're gonna be in my studio. So.
like you can go into any studio and know what you're listening to, at least from the speakers.
Yeah.
And that's removing a variable, and that's an important thing.
All right. So in more news, Audio-Technica has announced that they are releasing drum packs, right? And these are some entry level to pro level. And there's like several different ones. But do you want to just kind of touch on that?
Sure.
And talk about it quick.
They have a set that's $249 that's coming out all the way up to $799. And I don't know, David, what do you think of drum mic packs in general?
I typically like them as far as the shell mics, but in general, I feel like there's always one weak spot, and it's typically the overheads. Typically, not always, but most of the time.
And the entry level set doesn't come with overheads. It just comes with the tom, bass drum, and a couple.
I think they're really great for people who maybe are getting into recording and that kind of thing. Like they just need a full set of microphones. Me personally, I kind of prefer to pick out my own, I want to pick out my overheads. I want to pick out my kick drum mic, and I don't usually want them to be all from the same brand. That usually doesn't make sense to me. But I mean, I do think it's great for those people who just are ready to go. I mean, I think like the higher end sets too are really gearing towards like live sound too. where you're for production. So you just like you need a set to record a drum set or to, do live sound, and so it can be great from that perspective too.
I think AT mics have a solid like fan base. They've been around for a long time. People love to use them, and now it seems like now they're getting these packs out to you could, if you're an entry level person, or else if you just want a live set, or if you're a pro and you want a bass set to build off of. I think this is great. I think that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. I am a drummer first, and I will be setting up my drum recording studio soon. And I think I definitely look at these packs as a way to get into it. And I know that the mics will be specifically for these things. But I do like what you're saying, Jay. I feel like I want to pick out, I really like these toms versus the kick drum.
Us, so you know that we're going to have an opinion about everything.
Oh, yeah.
But I do know that the tom mics and the kick drum mic in those packages those are the ones people are using for recording.
Yeah.
So they're not like, especially in the high-end sets, they're not like skimping or anything.
Right.
Okay. Let's move on quick to the UA 480L plugin that has been announced from UAD, which is what Universal Audio Digital. What's the D?
Probably.
Yeah, it's like their plugin company pack or whatever like that.
Yeah.
So this is a plugin that's been announced and has been out for a couple weeks, right?
Yes.
And do you want to elaborate on what this is and what this does?
I don't have a ton to say about it. I will say that it is kind of exciting that it's come out. From what I understand, like some of the processing stuff that is in the 480L and typically hasn't been in plugins like this is in this plugin. And I know that this is the only officially licensed 480L plugin. But for you youngsters out there who don't know, the 480L is kind of like the classic 80s, 90s, super high-end reverb processor from Lexicon. Yeah, like Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson. This is what was used in the major studio albums. They were really great sounding reverbs, but it was like a giant computer in the back room that was really noisy that you had to get away from everything. And then, as everyone I'm sure has seen, is the famous white console. Put it right here, Tay. The famous white control console for it, where you actually controlled all the parameters for the reverb and stuff.
That's cool.
It's a nice. I mean, and it was like, I think it was $10,000 or $15,000 back in the day.
Wow.
So this plugin's $350, and you're getting the same algorithms. So
and you can use it on more than one track at a time.
Yeah. Well, the 4 in 480 was 4, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
$15,000 for 4 tracks of reverb.
Right.
Lexicon's known for their effects and reverb.
Oh, they have the best digital reverbs.
And that's the one. Like when you think of Lexicon's reputation, that's the one that people are thinking of.
Okay. So we've all heard it for sure.
Oh yes, it's been on 1 million records.
Cool.
Specifically 1 million.
Specifically, no more, no less.
1
1 million.
All right, guys. So that's good for news. I think we're gonna wrap this episode up with just news because we had a lot to talk about. And other episodes we'll get into other stuff. So we appreciate you watching and hope you come back for the next Unfiltered episode. If you like this, subscribe below. If you want to comment, it'd be great. We would love to hear if you have any suggestions for us or what you actually think about the news we covered today. And maybe, everyone can weigh in on whether Jay should get CLA-10s or NSN 10. NSN 10s. Tell him what he should get.
Tell me and why. Why? That's the most important.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, and we'll see you again around the drum on Pixel Pro Audio Unfiltered.